Hi everybody, and welcome to another case study using LeadsHook. This one is going to be about dynamically generated content and the various ways in which you can create dynamically generated content using LeadsHook. So to start the process off, what I wanted to do was share a video that I just found at random called the Entrepreneur IQ, which is basically a TED Talk, and I'll play a few seconds of this so you get a context of what this is going to be about.
So, Entrepreneur Magazine just picked Bend as the next hottest thing in entrepreneurship. Yeah. So, I think it's kind of appropriate that this discovery that I'm about to describe to you, called Entrepreneurial DNA, gets released to the world on your stage.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to for him to share, which is the Entrepreneur DNA. And you can watch the video because I'll be linking it in the somewhere on this page, and you can go ahead and watch it over here. If you can't, then just search for this and Joe Abraham with the Entrepreneur DNA, and you should find the video on YouTube. So basically, he talks about the Entrepreneur DNA, which is made up of four things. So I watched the video, and he shares the four types of entrepreneur types that there are according to his research and his experience. And they're builder, opportunist, specialist, I should say, not socialist, specialist, and innovators. I don't know how many socialists would turn up as having entrepreneur DNA, but anyway. So what I wanted to do was how can I take a random content? So in this case, I don't know who Joe Abraham is, nor do I know much about his entrepreneur DNA. The challenge was, can you just take any bit of content and make a decision tree out of it? My belief has always been yes, because that's what I've done with most of the client work that we do. And I thought I'll share the process here. So I watched the video, and I was able to come up with. He explains all of the various factors that he's found that matter if you're an entrepreneur, an opportunist, a specialist, and innovators. And he shares details about what he's found, traits that they share or traits that they have. Now, once again, I'm not talking about the validity of the DNA wiring because I don't know. I'm merely taking content that already exists. In this case, his 17-minute talk, and I've turned it into a chart or a decision tree for the purposes of this demonstration. Right. So the point of this video is not to talk whether his research is valid or not. It may be, it may not be, and it's sort of immaterial. We just want to use how can you use what you've currently got or your existing content that you may have, whether it be PDF, a video, a cheat sheet, or any other content that you may have created, or even a bunch of blog posts, and how do you turn those into something much more dynamic and interactive for your lead generation? Right, so that was the challenge here, and I wanted to share or show the 5 different ways, 5 different ideas coming off the same video. So this one video that I'm going to be turning into 5 different types of results or lead magnets that you can create from the one video, basically. Right. So what I did was I wanted to score everyone out of 50. You've got a top score of 200, and depending on the answers you select, you end up having a score. If you select yes, or if you get the answer, if you show this trait, I should say, then you'll get 10 points, and if you get 5 of those, you get 50 points, and throughout, and similarly for all the other entrepreneur DNA types. Right, so what does that look like inside LeadsHook? So I'm just going to go here and go to decision trees, and that's the TED Talk right there. And I'm going to edit, and that's basically what it looks like inside of LeadsHook. Right, so if I just go through this, I'm just going to do a quick preview and reveal my discover entrepreneur DNA. Entrepreneurship is broken. Reveal my entrepreneur DNA, and I find it easy to raise money. Yes, no. So basically, the questions that we have over here, these are the questions basically, and I'm asking people to say yes, no, or agree, disagree. Right? That's basically it. So these are the 4 the four columns represent these four: builder, opportunist, specialist, and innovators, which is one, two, three, four. That's the welcome page, which is the first page that you saw, which is right over here, and followed by a bunch of results pages. And I guess I'll share one question with you. It's pretty simple. It's a multiple choice. I've got my question sitting over here, and I've got my two answers, which is yes and no. And what I've also got is I've got a custom field that I'm using called TED Builder. So that says in the TED Talk in the Builder DNA, if you get the answer yes, you get 10 points. If you get answer no, you get 0 points. Now you can also give negative points. So if you're doing a decision tree where you want negative points, you could do that as well. And that basically is it's just a replication of that one node that I showed you, this question node, and I've just duplicated over and over and over again by changing just the question and the points. So what I'm doing is I'm using the same custom field. So if I look at question 2 here, and if I scroll down to custom fields, which is over here, it's still using the same custom field. And what LeadsHook is going to do is it's going to add the points from one to the next. So it's the sum plus feature that we have inside LeadsHook, where if you use the same field for every answer, it'll keep adding the total from the previous question. So if you get 10 points here, then when you get to this question, you have 10 points cumulative already. So if this answer you get right, you'll end up with 20 points, and then you'll end up with 20 points at the beginning of this question. And if you select if you select the answer that gives you 10 points, then you'll end up with 30 points over here. Okay, so that's basic. So what it means is that you don't have to create a custom field for each one and then put a formula field to sum them all up, which you can do, but that's not necessary because in our experience we found most people just want to add and subtract for their points. So we made it easy by adding the sum plus capability of LeadsHook. And and then just built this out by cloning the questions. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end. This is the form, and just wanted to show you that you can actually create a form with the first name and last name and email. I won't be editing the form just for convenience, but you can if you want to. So therefore, just wanted to show you that before I delete that. Okay, so the form's gone. Now this particular one, what I wanted to do was I'll start with the accumulated first because that's the easiest one to work with, which is right over here. And I'm going to add a chart to this. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go make the chart. And I'm going to show you how I've made it. Okay, so I wanted to show you how to make a chart. So I've just gone to admin and charts. I've just entered the Entrepreneurial DNA. I've selected it to be a radar diagram. And I'm adding the labels now. So these are the 4 axes that the radar diagram creates, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And go add. And then the next one, which is specialist. And last one is innovators. Or innovator, I think would be the more correct way of saying it. And add. Okay, so what's the data set? The data set is how do you pop it? So that's a label on the chart, and I'll show you what that looks like next. But now we need the data for it. So I'm going to go ahead and create the basically the DNA data. I'll just call it DNA data, and I'm going to go right to the end and grab my 4 fields. Right, so that's builder, opportunist, specialist, and innovator. I'll go ahead and save this. The thing to make sure is that the value that the custom field will provide, it matches up to builder. So builder it aligns with builder. So the order of this is what the order of this would be. So for example, if it was this way, well actually you can do that, then that's the wrong order. So the builder data or the builder value will show up as the opportunist, which is wrong. So I'm just going to drag it back down just to kind of give an example. So builder, the order is the same, We start from builder and an innovator. We start with builder and an innovator, and in that same order. So we're going to go ahead and click the configure one here, and immediately it'll show you what the diagram looks like. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and so that's going to be the diagram, which is builder, opportunist, innovator, and specialist. I'm going to add a maximum scale of 51 purely because we don't want the chart sprawling all the way out when we know that the maximum value, maybe I will do just 50. That doesn't look quite good. And that's, in a nutshell, is it. I don't tend to touch much else. You can change the color if you want by clicking the button over here. We'll leave it at the default blue. And that's the chart done. There are many other options here which you can play around with. I tend not to touch too much of it. Pretty happy with that. Perhaps the font size of that, which you can change by changing the font size here. But apart from that, there's really not much else to change here. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. And that's my DNA chart that's done, which is from admin charts. That's pretty simple, and I've selected it to be a rated diagram. I'm going to go back to my decision tree, which is this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and add the chart into my results page. So let's assume that it was your decision tree was about how to get your entrepreneur DNA chart. Then I'm going to go ahead and go add chart, and this is the only one that's available. The default size is 600 by 600 because it's going to be a squarish diagram. 600 by 600 I think will do the job. Let's go ahead and save that, and I'm just going to go ahead and center it, and that's my chart that's done. Okay, probably should add a little bit of content above it by going add fields, first name. So I've just opened up add fields. I've clicked first this particular ribbon item, and it's added in. So basically, if you want to add any values, you don't have to go ahead and type them up. You can just press the button here, and it automatically will add the custom field. Right, so I'm just going to go back and remove all this because we don't need that. First name, your definitely butchered the spelling there. Entrepreneur DNA. And probably should make that a bit bigger, so let's do that, and that's basically it. It's done. Right, so go ahead and save that, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clone this now because I need to activate the decision tree to capture the data because currently it's not activated, and the system won't activate if I have got unconnected nodes. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do this so that I can activate it, and that should work. Yep, so go ahead and activate. Gives you a whole lot of warnings. Nothing to be concerned about. They're just warnings to remind you that you haven't added a custom field or there's no results that are missing. Not everybody needs those, but we just like to display the warning anyway. Just in case it's something you've missed. So go ahead and proceed, and it's going to go ahead and activate this. Okay, so the activation is done. At this point, it's capturing data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click direct link, and I'm going to open up a new tab, and go through and show you what the chart looks like. I'm just going to randomly pick a bunch of answers. And that's it, right? So I'm a builder, and that is my chart, dynamically generated. Okay, why didn't it give me add the first name there? That's a good question. And the reason why I did that because I never asked for my name. So I'm going to go ahead and correct that. So because I didn't ask for my name, I forgot that I didn't ask for my name because there was no form, and therefore that's oops. Sorry, I should deactivate that first before I can make the edits. I'm going to go over here now and go ahead and change that to your entrepreneur DNA and save. Perfect, it's done. So now what's going to happen is it's going to draw the chart, which you can see is randomly selected values. It's plotting me along those lines. So you can see like it's pretty easy to create a chart, and the value that you're deriving or you're generating for your leads and customers is why this becomes so powerful. Is because in a nutshell, people can go through their little journey of self-discovery and work out what their weaknesses are. The other thing you're doing with the chart is that you're revealing quite where the weaknesses are, and that means that the data you've captured here, so in this case the points that we've got, I can go ahead and if I had captured the name and address, I can actually go ahead now and put them on an autoresponder sequence or some sort of email marketing or messaging sequence where I can talk about their weaknesses and how to improve their weaknesses, and then you can segue that to a product that you're selling. Now, where is this record? Because obviously I went through it. It gave me a chart. Where does it look like? Well, it's under leads, but because I didn't have an email, my captured is going to be false. So that's what that is. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that and search. So now I have every data point available. So if I have a look here, clearly there's no email captured, but the data is still captured. So that's my record on LeadsHook. That's my impression ID, my lead ID. That's the results link that I created. And these are all my answers, see, questions and answers, and the custom field. So if I go through here, all of my questions and answers are available. Um, and um, yeah, that's basically in a nutshell and these are my points, and this is the points. These are the points that we used to create this chart right over here. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you further details of how to personalize content, and for that, I'm going to pause the video now so I can set that up. Okay, so now what we're going to look at is the individual scores, and can we display that on a results page. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the results page. I've got the chart here, and below the chart we're going to add our individual scores. Oops, not the chart, it's meant to be add fields, and I'm going to go ahead and go TED. So it's keep putting all my TED custom fields here, so I'm going to go ahead and just press that. And I'm going to press it twice, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Enter, pressing it twice, and then the last one, Innovator. Okay, the reason for that is, you can just leave that there, is so that I can go and do this. Go ahead and just type that in, because sometimes what happens is you end up putting just the numbers on a page, and you go, what was that about? I've done it many times. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and just capitalize them, make them look a little bit prettier. Specialist and Innovator. Okay, so that's done, and I'm going to go ahead and save this now. And go and show you what that looks like. Now, what's going to happen is, because I haven't activated the decision tree, I won't be able to show you the chart because the data won't be transferred to the chart, but the summation of the scores, that should still work. Okay, so go ahead and just randomly select a bunch of answers. And there you go, there's your score. Okay, so the chart won't be displayed because it's not activated, but my scores still are. Right now, that's because it's in session, while the chart, what it does, it takes the scores and it pushes it over through to a different library, so that's why you won't be seeing that. Right, so that's my score, and that's now, the next thing I want to show you was the totals. So what do I want to sum up my scores and give me a total score? Right, so I'm going to put that down over here, and I go, well, total score. How do I add a total score? Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and save that. And for that, we're going to go back to custom fields, which is right over here. I'm going to answer custom fields, and I'm going to go ahead and go add. And I'm going to select the type calculated. And I'm going to go TED underscore total. Okay, so TED underscore total. Oops. TED score total. It's a calculated field. And what I'm going to do is have my formula. So what's my formula? Well, it's basically that plus that plus that plus that. Okay. So you can add any formula you want here. You can create, for example, a loan calculator, net present value of a series of numbers, valuations, anything you want, as long as you know the formula. As long as you can put it in Excel, you can put it over here. Right, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's the total score, and go ahead and save that. Go back to my decision trees. Open up the last node here, or where I'm going to display this. Go over here, go to Add Fields. Scroll to the very last one, because that's what that was. But if I want to search it, I'll just go TED, and it'll filter all the TED custom fields. Go ahead and press Enter. So there you go. TED total is sitting over there. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my decision tree now, and go through and show you a whole bunch of. So I won't get you watch you to click me clicking around. I'm just going to pause this and show you the result. So I just went through and clicked the answers, and when my score is a score of 100. But you can realize this is a score out of 200. Right? So that's 30, 30, 60, 70, and plus 30 is 90. So it's 100 over divided by over 200 basically is the total score. So that would be 50% is what I've got. Now you can also add a formula to create a 50%. So I won't show you that, but basically it would be taking the total score, dividing it by 200, and that could you could display that as a percentage as well. Okay, so that creates the individual scores. We've displayed that. We've summed them up, show you calculated fields. Now I'm going to go through and show you the accumulated results one, which is what's showing up over here, and I'll show you how to do that next. I just want to show you results and results pages. So there are two unique things about LeadsHook that so I should explain how they work. And if you have a look here, there's a little button here saying results. And what results are snippets of copy. So if I just add that, it's basically just an area that allows you to add some copy in here. You can use all your custom fields. So you can dynamically generate. So you can have hi with first name, or you can talk about your builder score. If we were doing something similar to what we're doing in this example, and I'm going to go ahead and just click that. Right, so you can kind of start personalizing content in a snippet or a piece of copy. And you can also add images in here, or you can add the images inside the actual text editor part as well, or you can add an image over here. And lastly, you can also go ahead and just embed a video. So you can add videos inside snippets of copy. And then what happens is that snippet of copy, I'm just going to get out of this, you can then insert that snippet of copy against in any number of ways. You can make it appear on the results page. So that's what I mean by results and results pages. So the result that you have attached or associated against an answer, for example, in this case, it'll show up on the results page. So the results, which you snippets of copy, which you add over here, they end up on the results page. And how do those appear here? Like, so how do you make the results appear on the results page? And that's controlled by the results display method. And that's basically the drop down here, which has got accumulated, unique, and points table. So I'm going to go through now and explain what the differences are and how to use them in potential use cases of what they are. So we provide lots of scale and flexibility to users because so they can kind of come up with their own ideas on how to execute. In this example, I'll be going through and showing you the 3 or 4. Actually, there's about 5 different ways of doing it, and then you can pick and choose to see what to apply in your market, or at least you know the scale and flexibility that's there. We're always open to help, so please do reach out if we can help you to actually implement this. But just know that you are pretty much unlimited or you're only limited by your imagination to be able to use this. Right, so I'm going to show you the first one here, just a very simple example, where I've got a snippet of copy which I've attached against result here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on add. So the results that you saw, so the results that you see, cancel this over here, they're the same results that you see when you attach that to an answer. So in this case, what I'm telling LeadsHook to do is if someone selects yes, then display this piece of content. If someone displays no, then don't display anything. Right? So, and similarly, I can go ahead and put them for every answer. And that way, so say for example, if I wanted to create a personalized report based on every answer and a small snippet of copy to explain to them whether they got the right answer or what this answer means or whether they got the right answer or not, you could go ahead and just add snippets of copy against each one of these. So if I pick yes, I'll see this, and if I pick no, I'll see, for example, let's say this one here. I'm just going to attach this for the purpose of an example here. If I pick no, I'll see this, and if I pick yes, then I'll see this particular outcome. Right, just to show you what that's going to look like is we're going to do a bit of a hack here and just do another way to quickly test things. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So now what I'm telling LeadsHook to do is go from the start page to this answer, to this question, and then go directly to the results page. But because my results page is set up as accumulated, if I go ahead and pick yes, then I'll see this, and if I pick no, then I'll see this. So let's go ahead and test this out. Right, I'm going to cancel that, just refresh that, and go here. If I go yes, I'll see this one, and if I refresh this, if I pick no, then I'll see this one. Right, so that's exactly, it's working as expected. Now, if I go ahead to this question, and we're going to do something similar here, I'm going to go ahead and add the innovator one here, and I'm going to add the I believe it was specialist that we haven't used. So innovator specialist and builder and opportunist. Okay, right. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go from here to this. This way we. So what we're going to see now is two sets of results. So we're going to see a result selected from an answer we select here, and one from here. Right. So let's go ahead and preview that. Just go refresh. Okay. Yes. Yes. So I see builder and innovator. If I refresh that, I'm going to see no and no, then I'll see opportunist and specialist. Right, so you can see how that's working, and you can accumulate that results page by having dynamically generated content purely based on the answers. It's a simple form of doing it. Now, what is the simplest way of doing it? Okay, so this is just to give you an example of accumulator, but what else could you do? Well, you could just have one generic page, which is what most people do online, which is at the end of it saying, hey, based on the answer you selected, here's the video you can watch. So, or you can start branching people out as well. You could do that. I'm going to go through a short video now, presentation now on PowerPoint, just to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to just click that open. I'm going to presentation view. So what you're seeing here is just my questions and answers. The lazy method, as I like to call it, is is a results page without any dynamic content. So you just basically, hey, thank you for your answers. We'll get back to you in 5 days. That would be lazy. The separate paths method would be something along the lines of where I branch out and start giving people 2 or 3 results pages. And so let me just share that with you. I'm going to create a dummy question and explain what that's going to look like. So go ahead and do this. And let's say if my final question was going to be, let's say gender. So the classic, are you a man or a woman? And if I say multiple choice, I'm going to say men, and I'm going to say woman. I'm going to click this little button here which says show answers on decision tree canvas. And what's going to happen here is that's going to end up is my last question. So now what I could do is I could have 2 results pages. So 1, let's call this men, and you can have your content sitting over here. Oops, and that's men goes here, so you can see I hover over it. It tells me that's my men answer. I'm going to go ahead and clone that, and I'm going to attach the women to this page, and I'm just going to change that to. That can be any bunch of stuff. I'm just going for a very simple example here with men and women, and there you go. So that's I'm splitting up my results based on the last question. Now, of course, you could branch out at any point in time. You can create all kinds of complexity that you want. Or whatever is desired, not complexity for complexity's sake, but if it's going to give a desired outcome to your leads and customers. So I'm going to go back here, and that's that method. I just showed you a separate path method, which is this one here. The accumulated one, which is I just showed you, which is where the results that you associate against an answer is what gets revealed or shown over here. Now I'm going to go through and show you the unique one, and then we'll go through the points. So that's accumulated. So just a schema, just show you like a free report style. Any answer, any result that I associate against an answer, it will automatically will be shown on the page based on the answers that I select. So that's the accumulated method. The next one is going to go through and show you, not points, show you unique. Not sure why that's not showing up there. So unique is essentially the maximum points is what's going to show up on the results here. So how does that work? Let me give you the overview. So in this case, the points of the system gets used, and I'll show you that in a second. And you can have the same answer associated against multiple. You can have the same result, associated against multiple answers. And what's going to happen there is, based on the answer you select, it's going to accumulate points for that result, and whichever result ends up with the maximum points ends up being displayed. So it's a way where you can have, so say for example, if you only have 3 or 4 categories that you want to, or 3 or 4 categories of results that you want to show, and you want to attach those points only against specific categories, then you can go ahead and use this one here, which is unique result, which is maximum points. All right, so I'm going to show that next. I'm going to pause the video now so I can set that up for you. Right, so just want to show you the application of the results method called unique. So results display method unique, and what I've done is I've gone and attached the builder result against all the yes answers, but as I showed in the slideshow, that it works on the number of points. So it calculates all the points against each of the results that you associate with an answer. So I'm just going to give this 10 points. So the points only get used for the results display method unique and the points table. Accumulated does not use these points. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to go through and do the same thing over here, which is give it 10 points. So you don't have to watch me type all these things in. I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds while I go and enter the values for everything else. But I just want to show you I've only done it for these two. For this one here, I've added in against the yes answer, the opportunist. And what I'll do is I'll then run through a few examples, and you'll see the different results pop up based on how many yeses I pick from this column versus how many yeses I pick from this column. Right, so I'll be with you in about 60 seconds. Pause the video. Okay, so what I've done is I've attached the result for builder on all the yes answers here, and the opportunist for all the yes answers here, and given it 10 points each. Just to show you, just randomly pick this one, and there you go, 10 points. Right, so if I pick 3 yeses on this column and 3 yeses and all no's here, then I will see the builder result, and I'll reverse that. So what I've done is I've just dragged a connector from here straight to here, so that way we ignore these questions, and it'll make the testing much faster, but the outcome is the same whether you have one result, two results, or 25 results. Right, so let's refresh that. I'm going to go 1, 2. Oops, I think we have a break. Let me just refresh that. Let's just make, oh yeah, there we go. There's a connector missing. Right, refresh. 1, 2, 3, and then no. And the rest of them I'm going to do no, because what we're doing is we're doing yes, 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 and no, no, all the way down here. All right. There you go. Build a result. I'm going to refresh that. I'm going to go the other way around. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got all no's here. And then I should see the new ground floor opportunity question, which is, there you go. I'm going to go yes, yes, and yes, and no, no. There you go. The opportunist picks up. Right, so that's how that's working. You can go and attach an answer, a result against any answer, and give how many of the points that you want, and LeadsHook will automatically accumulate points every time you select the answer against the answer that you or against the result you've selected, and at the end it's going to tally up all of the results against which you've received some points. It's going to sum that up, and it's going to display the highest points possible, which is exactly what this diagram shows. Right, so that's going to be the maximum points or the unique result. Next one I'm going to show you is the results, which is going to be the points table, which essentially you attach the bunch of points. There are no results associated at the answer level. The results are just created at decision tree level. And what the system will do is it'll calculate the points against each one and then give you the correct result based on the number of points that you've got. Right, so that could also be used. So I'm going to do the similar thing. I'm going to go and show you that using just these 10 questions, so that way we don't needlessly click through a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll be with you in a minute or two to show you that. Okay, so I'm going to show the results table method now. And the first thing to do is obviously make sure you select the right method under the results display method. It's going to be points. And if I click that, that's where I'm going to create my points table. But before we do that, I'm going to go through and just show you that I've removed, randomly pick one here. I've removed the results against the results pages, and the points have gone back to 0. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add a bunch of points. And so just randomly go through, and it's going to be quite simple. I'm just going to put 10 points here. And on the second question, I'm going to put 10 points as well for the yes answer. Oops, sorry, 10. And so that's it. That's 20 points. I'm going to go through here and show you how to go about doing the results table. Now, you can go and attach the points against every answer. You can have negative points, you can have positive points, you can have any type of points that you want. Go through here. I'm going to go add a condition. I'm going to go 0 to 11, and I'm going to select innovator and add condition, and I'm going to go greater than 11 to 50, and I'm going to select specialist. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that. Save. But because I've got 10 points, 10 points, if I select just yes here, I should see 1, and if I select yes in both, I should see the other one. So let's go through and do that. Oops, I'm going to make sure we connect to the right place. Once again, just to speed up our demo here, well, I'm just going to work with these two here. In fact, we could even shorten that further by doing this, because only these two questions have got the points associated with it. Right, let's refresh that. So I'm going to go yes, no, 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 no. Oops, I've broken something. Oh, there you go. Refresh. I'm going to go yes, and then no, 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 and no. There you go, innovator, which is going to be the less than 10 points. So let's confirm that. Yep, less than 10 points is innovator, and then if I go 2 yeses, it'll be specialist. So let's go ahead and do that now. Once again, come here, refresh. Yes, 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 and I guess I can just go yes all the way, doesn't matter, and it's going to be specialist. Right, so that shows you how the points table work. Points table 1, you can use it where you create it, where you want to advise people as to their capability or capacity, or their competence in a capacity or capability up to a certain number of points. So if someone's really good in whatever you're testing them for, so say for example, if you're testing someone in how good they're going to be as an entrepreneur, then you can the scores could reveal what sort of product they are likely to buy. So someone who's scoring really badly, you could tell them to buy your basic course, while someone who scores really high can go for a mastermind or a much higher value course or product. Right, so this is a simple example on how the points table work. So that's done as well. Now I'm going to show you one more method. So we've looked at the first 3, which is the last one here, which I want to show you is using decision nodes. And this you can use to do all of this in one. The reason why I show it last is because it's the one that's most complex, but the complexity, or the most difficult to understand, I should say. But once you get it, it's the most flexible, and as a result, you can do anything you want with it. So I'm going to set that up now, and I'm going to show you that in about in a few short minutes. Okay, so let's apply the decision node. It's going to be right over here. Drag and drop the yellow one. Drag and drop. And when you do, it's going to open it up. This is going to be my results for my results page. So I'm going to add my first path, and I'm going to say basically question. So this is going to be builder, and if they say yes, then I'm going to give them this result, which is going to be builder. So here's what I'm doing is I'm setting up the conditions, and if the conditions are met, they will be given the builder result. So you see how powerful that is? Now this could be multiple conditions. You can say question, you can pick this one here, you can say is not yes, or is, sorry, I should say is no. That's a better way of saying no than to say is not no, is not yes. Right, so then that way, if they satisfy these conditions, then they'll get the builder one. So I'm just going to keep it pretty simple for the purpose of this demonstration, which is if they say raising money is yes, they get the builder result. And I'm going to save. Not going to save. I'm going to add one more, and I'm just going to add the second question, which is going to be this one here: attract talent. If they say yes to that one, then I want to attach another one. So I'm going to go the opportunist there. So you see how flexible this is. This is so I'm just going to call it path 2, or this is going to be talent equals yes, and set that again as builder equals yes. Title them properly, that way it makes it nice and easy. And then no conditions. That's if I don't answer yes to either one of those, then I'll become a specialist. And I'm going to save that. Okay, so that's no conditions. So that's everybody else. So what I'm trying to do here basically is I'm going to come down over here, and I'm going to say if I answer builder yes, then give me the result for builder. If I answer talent yes, which is the second question, then give me the result for that, and then for if I don't pick, and everybody else gets the other one. All right, so I'm going to go and show you what that looks like. Let's refresh that. So if I go yes and yes, then I should get 2 results, and I'm going to just go no, no. So oops. Let me go ahead and make sure that I have got my conditions set up properly. Evaluate all paths. Okay, that's probably much better. I'll explain that in a second. Well, actually, I explained it in a separate video because that's a. Okay, so I'm going to yes, yes, no, no, no. So I get all three, right? Because I answered yes here and answered yes here, and then this one here I get regardless of what I pick in the first two. But if I don't pick the first two, so if I go no, 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 then I'm only going to get the specialist and not the first two. So, but if I refresh that, and if I go yes and no, and then yes, 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 then I should see two of the builder and specialist. Right. So you see what's happening is LeadsHook is going in saying, well, is this condition satisfied? If it satisfies, I will show this result, and if it's not satisfied, I won't. And it goes and it checks for the second one. It says, well, hang on, is this satisfied? Yes. If it's yes, then it shows that. And then it goes to the third one. It says, well, no conditions. Everybody satisfies that. So that can be that's why it shows up for everything. Right. Now, if you wanted to show this, if you don't pick the first two, then you can just go ahead and add another condition, which is right over here, and go through and put question and add question and go if any of these are satisfied, and go ahead and do this is not. Right, so then that way what's going to happen is then you're only going to show and then for this and then remove the result from this one here. So no conditions won't show anything, and all results are driven from the conditions. Okay, so that's how the decision node works. It's the most powerful part of it, because here's what you can do is you can actually go ahead and add as many results as you want, as many results nodes as you want. So you can have this result node going into, sorry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. So the no conditions goes and assesses another set of conditions and creates another, accumulates more results, and then it can attach back here. So these two will put some input, some results over here, and it'll go through this one, it'll put some results over here, and you can keep daisy chaining as much as you want. We've got users who do about 15, 20 of these, and as a result end up creating an extremely personalized results page. And then finally, you click that button and it turns it into a PDF. So there's dynamically generated PDFs of highly personalized content with charts, videos, images, and calculations. So I hope that kind of gives you a brief overview about the real power of how to personalize content using the various methods available inside LeadsHook. This has been a reasonably long video, but we wanted to really share with you the various ways in which you can end up executing something. For the most part, this is arguably the most powerful part of LeadsHook and the most unique part of LeadsHook. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to get back to us and contact us at help@leadshook.com. Or if you're already a LeadsHook user, just fire up, go into help and say contact help. And that way you'll get your little pop-up where you can enter your details to get some help about this. Look forward to seeing you inside LeadsHook, and thank you for watching this case study. Thank you, and bye for now.